I did speak to Sailor and Michelle just before they were leaving hospital. What a brave story. What an important story. I think Sailor will do more for adolescents and young adults in terms of a vaccination message than I'll ever do, even with a couple of hundred visits to this podium, because it's a real story, and it's an emotional story because these are lives completely upended by this virus, and the powerful reflections on what a difference vaccination makes is the key message that I would like to reinforce as well. Obviously, Sailor wasn't eligible for the vaccine at the time that she contracted COVID. That's reflected in everything we're seeing with this epidemic. It's reflected in everything we're seeing in hospital at the moment. So, of cases in hospital yesterday, 91% not fully vaccinated. Of those in ICU, the most unwell patients like Sailor was last month, 98% not fully vaccinated. So if you are fully vaccinated, you are effectively not allowing yourself to be in a position where you need ICU. All three vaccines now with Moderna in Australia, very effective, very safe, and will keep you out of ICU. So if you're one of those people who haven't yet thought about getting vaccinated, as Sailor says and as Michelle says, it's your choice. But who wouldn't advocate, as I have done tirelessly, for vaccines, knowing what a difference they can make in people's lives for all of us, and to get out of this damn lockdown. In terms of our current cases, about a third are in the northern suburbs, just over a quarter in the western suburbs, about a quarter in the southeastern suburbs, and 5% in the eastern suburbs, and just over 8% reasonably stable in regional Victoria. But we have seen more cases, including some increased cases in Baw Baw, Greater Geelong, Greater Shepparton and Mildura. We've also seen a handful of cases in Swan Hill, very likely linked to Mildura. So we're asking everyone in Swan Hill, as we do everyone everywhere, be alert to symptoms and get tested if you have any symptoms. There's still very good testing going on in Mildura, so picking up those cases, which is fantastic. We do have a new mass testing site in Cranbourne that I mentioned yesterday, did more than 1,100 tests, so it's good to see numbers rising there. There's still capacity for more people to come through. And then on vaccination, further to the Minister's announcement, there are some other pop-ups that have continued to have great success. The Islamic Centre in Newport, in its final week, just going through the second doses now, it's done more than 11,000 shots since it opened a month ago. It's been one of our most successful pop-up sites, really with in-language and culturally appropriate support to the diverse community in Newport and Hobsons Bay. And, we've spoken of the increase in vaccination coverage in those areas. It's really been very significant, and in no small part to that kind of engagement and provision of vaccines. So well done, and thanks from all of us. And we wish you well in your final days of being a pop-up site. Palm Plaza, Dandenong's also done nearly 15,000 doses in under a month. That site's providing both Pfizer and Moderna, also accepting walk-ups. And it's really important. Dandenong's still behind the state average for both first and second doses, but again, really huge uptick recently, but still only at 81% first dose and 50% second dose. That's not enough to drive numbers down properly. So we encourage anyone of any age to come down and get your vaccine there, especially if you haven't started your course. And really for anyone across Victoria, if you've started your course, if your second dose is due, and some people, may have had changes to their booking schedule or kind of missed out as the interval has changed in terms of recommendation, please follow up with your second dose. Again, that's a reflection from Michelle and Sailor. One dose, good protection in terms of severity of illness, but those two doses really, really strong protection, 95, 97 plus % protection against dying, against being in ICU. So please finish your course if you've had that first dose and you're due for your second one. Even if you're late now, never too late for your second course to complete that dose. Finally, one of our school pop-ups, Brunswick Secondary College, did almost 1,000 doses over the weekend. Well done there. More than a third of attendees born overseas there. And now, as the Minister said, we're bringing mini pop-up sites to local shopping strips and cafes. So there'll be much more ready access. So keep an eye out for things in your local area. It's never been easier to get the vaccine. It's probably never been more important. So if you haven't already, please step up, get vaccinated. Thank you.